What's up, guys? Definitely not Jen, but she's trying. We're trying to do a little fancier setup tonight. She's trying to do her phone, and I'm going to talk on, or I'm going to handle the comments for her. But I think she's having a little bit of technical difficulties at the moment, so we'll hang out for a minute. But thank you guys for being here for Jen's midweek motivation. Deborah says hi, Cheryl F. How's it going, Deborah? Good to see you here tonight. We've got Darren. Hello, beautiful people. Oh, wow.
I made it.
Well, she made it. She did certainly did. Well, let me give you these.
I can't hear you. I think you should probably stay on the stage because I'm having some serious issues.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I like
Yes.
the Verizon. Are you able to see the comments?
Yes, I can.
Darren says hello, beautiful people.
Hey, Darren.
Your fave brunette says hey. Cheryl says hi, Sherry. Darla Tidwell says hey, Bethune. Sherry Weber's in the house. Hey, Sherry, good to see you here tonight.
I'm
Rick Hart,
listening.
Rick Hart says you are absolutely awesome, Jen.
Aw, thanks, Rickard.
Hey there, Darla. Good to see you here tonight. We got Darren says hi, Jen. Darla says hi, Jen. We've got Texas Mama. Thank you for trying something new tech wise. I love seeing you both. Yeah, sometimes we get ourselves in trouble a little bit with the whole tech stuff. We're trying to, we're just trying to see how we can make this work. StreamYard is very versatile. You can do a lot of stuff with it. But happy Wednesday! You guys have made it halfway through the week. Congratulations to you. I guess we all have technically. Why are you sitting here staring at me exactly? Okay, bye, Felicia. But yeah, it's your show. I don't know why I'm talking.
Because we have technical difficulties and you had to help me out because you love me.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, so it's midweek motivation. Today is Wednesday, and it's a little after 7:30 p.m. And this week we're talking about something that Kyle, and me has really worked on for the past few years, and that has to do with our mindset. What we speak to ourselves, what we think to ourselves, the way that we talk to other people, that is a direct reflection of how we're feeling on the inside. And so in my post yesterday, I challenged y'all to do something this week, and I want to challenge all of y'all that are in here right now. After this session, I want you guys tomorrow to observe the words that you're saying, the thoughts that you're having. Don't do anything with them, just observe them. For instance, like if you do something at work and you make a mistake, and listen to the way that you talk to yourself when you mess up. Because we do it so much that we don't even realize how negative we are. So, babe, what's with flipping your mindset? It's something that you've worked on a lot recently. What's one thing that you've learned? What's a struggle? Like, share a story about your mindset recently.
Well, I mean, I've always kind of came from a negative headspace. I think it was, I think it I think American men especially, we're just, I don't know, I think we're conditioned a certain way. And we just kind of, or I don't know if it's just even men, but I mean, like, I think we're a society, a much glass half empty kind of society. So, but for me, it's really realizing, okay, yeah, I'm a negative, for the most part, a pretty negative person. I come from a negative, standpoint on most situations, or I did. I've improved vastly, and honestly, in the last few weeks. But it's like she said, it starts with that, recognizing what you're saying. I mean, you talk negatively, you think negatively, you're going to live a negative life. I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, it's not, it's much more simple than you even thought. So what you put out in the world, way you talk to yourself, the way you talk to other people, and the way you react to
Are you okay in
situations.
there, babe? I don't know what happened. We're having a lot of issues tonight. We started working on this an hour ago and it's still not working. So, like Kyle was saying, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can you Kyle, are you there, babe?
I have one bar on Wi-Fi. I don't know.
Are the kids on Wi-Fi?
I don't. They're not supposed to be.
Well, welcome to what midweek motivation, where we work out all the bugs this week. We wanted to give a different perspective. So in the van, Kyle's in the bus, just mix it up a little bit and see how it's going.
You're breaking really
Not
bad.
well, but I'm breaking up, Brad.
You, at least on my end, you are. Yeah, I mean, just hopefully she'll come in. I think we're just trying to stretch the Wi-Fi a little further than we can. Starlink, we're having to really utilize Starlink this week because T-Mobile's not very strong. T-Mobile Home has been our godsend. I think it works amazing. Um, hopefully, let me know, guys. Am I still freezing? Am I not freezing? Let me know in the comments, please. I don't know. It looks pretty clear on my end. I'm not getting any notifications that I'm low on. Damn it! I keep hitting the table. Low on connectivity, but yeah. BJ says, I appreciate the honesty and transparency, Kyle. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, no problem. It's a big thing. It's vastly improved my life, or at least my outlook on life. And it's something that's evolving for me right now. I catch myself a lot viewing, I mean, just anything. I mean, it's literally seeing a car pass you on the side, and be like, oh, that car's a piece of crap. I would never drive that thing. It's stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's someone's car. Why do I care what they drive? I don't care what they drive. Just it's literally every little thing throughout your day. If you can shift one thing at a time, it's amazing how your outlook changes. It's really been transformative for me.
I didn't hear your whole story, but I'm sure
But
it was lovely.
do you want to just come inside? Like you're
Yeah,
freezing and all.
I'll be in there in a minute.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
right
Let's
there.
just do that. All right, see what we got. I think hopefully we're gonna get it here. We can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear the two of you loud and clear. Yeah, here. This is what we get for trying to be all fancy. We have a switcher, which is really the right way to do this, but we didn't break that out tonight. We figured we'd try it a little different. Jen, you were going a little max headroom. Kyle, you're still clear. Oh my God, hi, you're clear. All right, we're working on it. Michelle M says, when things go well, I'm positive. Things go bad, I'm negative. Kyle is okay with signal. Jen is not. Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate trick to it. I mean, yeah, when you're in once you get in that negative headspace, everything you see or everything or a lot of things that come thereafter seem to be equally as negative or if not worse. So, it's starting with one, starting your day that way and catching is like she said, kind of just observe what you're thinking, what's coming into your train of thought, and I think the next step is, okay, well, let's, you're not going to repave the interstate in a day. It's something that's going to take a lot of practice, a lot of repetition, a lot of messing up. And I still do it. I catch myself all the time. I'm like, why am I thinking that way? That's what's a good word to call that type of thinking? It's just,
you're just stuck in a negative cycle.
yeah, it just doesn't, it's not progressing anything for you. You're not growing as a human. You're not helping your mental health. You're not helping your mood. Like there's really no, and I used to, really not laugh at it, be like, you're full of crap. Like Jen's always been a very, are you waiting on me to do something?
Oh, you just keep talking.
Jen's always kind of, been, like has always been a very positive person, pretty much in most situations. And, obviously she's human. She has her, her moments, but for the most part, she's always been able to view most things from a negative standpoint, a positive standpoint. And I used to be like, I don't know how she does that. I almost thought it was fake, but it's something, it just takes practice, a lot of practice. And I'm starting to see some of the fruits of my labor. And it's been pretty cool. Are you going to come in?
Yes, I'm going to come in. I'm here. Woo! We try something different and it doesn't work out, and that's okay. It just means we'll figure it out.
Look at you staying positive.
I know. Positive Patty. We're good. Okay. Oh,
turn the lights off.
Listen, Linda.
And now you got the cord in the middle of the
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best here. So I want to kind of talk about a story to put this into practice. Okay.
Every time you hit the table, the camera goes. First
So,
timers here, guys.
Putting this into practice, what does that look like? What does changing your mindset, like how do we do this? So when we moved into the bus, I was much heavier. I was probably about 50 pounds heavier than what I am. Kyle was depressed. Our marriage at this point was not good.
She was a little rocky.
It was rocky. And so when we moved into the bus, I remember taking a picture of myself in the tall mirror that we have. And I started to go negative and pick out all the things in this picture. I'm sure you've done it. I know you've done it. Like, you see a picture of yourself and you start picking everything apart. Oh, I need to lose weight. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I don't like my hair. Oh, I'm not good enough. All of these negative things. Well, if you're thinking these things and you're saying these things out loud, that contributes to your mindset about yourself. So I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. I did not want to continue saying bad things about me to me. Like, I have a daughter, I have sons. Like, I want them to love their bodies. So if I want them to love their bodies, I have to start loving my body. And so on that day, I made a vow. I'm going to do my best to not say anything negative about my body again. And so every day more things would pop up. My pants wouldn't fit right, or they wouldn't button, or this wouldn't look good. And instead of getting upset, I would just flip it. So I would flip the negative of, oh, I need to lose weight, to, you know what? I'm great right where I'm at. I'm putting too much pressure on myself, and I am beautiful just the way I am. And so whenever a negative thought would come in, I would flip it. I would flip the thought to a positive thought. And what happened was I started losing weight. I kid you not, over 2 years, the course of 2 years, I lost 50 pounds on the road without even trying. I mean, I guess I was trying because I was changing my mindset. But once you change that mindset, once you start becoming more positive, your cortisol levels come down, which means you have less stress. And when you're stressed, your body holds on to all of those fat cells, and you can't release them. But as soon as you start offboarding some stress, your weight starts just naturally coming down.
And honestly, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I wasn't as fast as her, which I've really my transformation's really taken hold in the last year and a half, but I've lost, when we hit the road after praying, I think most, a good majority of us put on a few pounds during COVID, but I was right at 280 when we first hit the road full time, and I'm right under 240 now. So I've lost over 40 pounds. I don't actually, we're active people. We don't go to the gym. We don't run. We walk a lot, but we're not actively trying to lose the weight, I guess is what we're trying to say. We eat a good diet. We don't eat garbage. I still, it could improve my diet immensely. I have a big issue with eating at night. Like, I go to bed. I really don't eat much during the day. I go to bed and I'm laying in bed watching television, and I get hungry. But yeah, I've lost over 40 pounds. Jen's lost a good 30, 40, over, you said 50 pounds. And we really haven't tried. Not in the traditional way of trying. So it's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, and reframing your mindset isn't just about your body. It's about everything in life. When you're walking down the road, or when you're in the grocery store and you see someone that is unique, okay, they're dressed kind of different and weird and wild, think about that first thought that pops into your head when you see somebody else. What is that first thought? My first thoughts used to be, oh, I would never wear that. Oh, that does not look good. Or she's too old to be wearing that. Or he needs to get rid of the toupee. Whatever the case was, I discovered I was being too critical of other people because I was being too critical of myself. And so when I started letting go of picking myself apart, what I noticed is I stopped picking other people apart. And we all do it, quite honestly. We all do. There's still sometimes now where I'll have an instant flash of negativity. I'm like, no. We're not doing you. And, on the daily, I'm so much happier.
Right.
Just by changing the reality around me.
Yeah. I mean, because it's all perspective. And, anyway, yeah, the person that's wearing that outfit may think they're the best, they look the best, and that's great. That's their position. It's all perspective. Everybody is, all of our thoughts and all of our opinions and all the criticism is all perspective of how we feel and how we think.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something for at least for someone like me that it takes a lot of practice. It's gonna take time. None of this stuff happens fast. We've been on this journey almost 4 years, and we've came a long way. But I would say for me personally, the last 6 months, my growth has just skyrocketed. I had one really bad bout of depression toward the end of summer. And once I got out of that, I've been great. I mean, I've felt great. I've lost weight. I've been good. I've slept better at night. My diet's improved. I'm not as hungry as often. That's a big thing too. Is like she said, when you're stressed, when you're depressed, we go to eating. Like it's just like it's a comfort thing. We're human, especially a Southerner. That's what we did. That's what we do. But when you're content in your life, it's just not something you're constantly thinking about. So. You want to get to a few comments?
Yeah, look at Kyle doing the comments tonight, y'all.
Ricard says the bus was your Noah's Ark for you guys. Yeah, I mean, it really was. And the thing we really try to promote and say is what we do, and our message is not to tell everyone that they need to go buy a bus and do what we do, because that's not true. It's not going to work for a lot of people, probably most people.
Yeah,
it's difficult. It was just we have a wandering soul. I've always been a wanderer. I've always wanted to be wherever I wasn't. And Jenn kind of, I mean, she didn't know it, but I guess she was kind of always kind of built the same way. BJ says, even back then, you guys were a cute couple.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been cute all along the way, but I think now the growth that we've had in changing our mindset within ourselves, we then change the mindset of our couple. And I don't think either one of us have ever loved each other this deeply as we do now.
No, we're in a good spot. We're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Tressa says, I still say I'm fat. Well,
you have fat. Everybody has fat.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. That's more your department.
It's finding the beauty around you. Society has this standard of what beauty is supposed to look like, and that's where we all have to be, right? You got to be way up here. That's not realistic. And that's one form of beauty. It's a different perspective of beauty. But, when you start to love yourself for who you are and love every wrinkle and every curve and all the cellulite that jiggles, you develop a love for other people. When you shift your mindset on what traditional beauty is supposed to look like, you really find out what true beauty feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. Sherry says, I love that, Jenn. That is a great way of thinking better of yourself.
Yeah, it's difficult to do it, but every day, it's just every day, like I said, for your homework, be mindful tomorrow. Think about all day tomorrow, how you speak to yourself and to other people. Think about the interactions you have, the thoughts that you have. If they're negative, just take note that they're negative. You don't need to change anything tomorrow. Just observe it, and then Friday, when that negative thought comes in, say, oh no, I don't choose to have that anymore. So we're going to flip it to something positive.
I think one of the biggest things I'm seeing now, or I'm really starting to make sense to me now, is I don't really get bothered by anyone.
Yeah.
Like it could, certain, characteristics traits from people, just, I mean, we all have it. There's certain things people, they just get under our skin. But I've noticed my mind shift, I don't really get bothered by much of anything, especially people. I think you learn, and by putting your mindset in the right place, you just learn to accept people where they are, or people, love them and be friends with them wherever they are, and just because you don't know what path they've walked. And it's just funny. It just doesn't bother me. It's kind of a weird feeling. And it's something I've been faced with a few times, even lately. And I'll get back home, back to my space where I'm, winding down from the day. And I'll be like, and we'll talk, maybe kind of cover what happened, where we were, whatever happened, any situation. I was like, man, that really would have bothered me a year ago, 6 months ago. I think I don't even, it's just very interesting how that works. You don't really, once you start, once you think that way, you don't pick out flaws in other people, and that's a big thing, and when you do that, you just really you're not bothered by it much.
Well, I think the work starts with yourself, right? Like if you accept yourself, because the key to change is acceptance. You have to accept where you are right now. You have to accept this moment that you're in. Like this past winter, we had to accept that we were broke and this freaking sucks and we have to get ourselves out of it. You don't have to beat yourself up. You just have to accept that, okay, we're in a really shitty situation right now. It sucks. And I know we're going to get out of it. You have to have those conversations with yourself.
Absolutely.
Kind of talking yourself down.
Darla says, I always pick on myself lovingly. Like if I had 600 grand for Club Med, tons of dental work, and several personal trainers, I would be somewhat gorgeous.
But Darla, I think you're gorgeous just as you are. I think all of you are gorgeous just as you are, because that's the beauty of uniqueness, right? That's the beauty of us having our own perspective and being our own people. We get to just exist, and I find beauty in so many things that I didn't find beauty in before, like wildflowers.
Yeah. Michelle says, I was a stressed out social worker. I could not keep up with all the cases. I quit back in February. Now I work 9 to 5 and work with young children as a preschool teacher. Good vibes.
Yay!
And that's a beautiful testimony of, jobs are going to come and go. I think the days of staying with a company for 40 years, do what makes you happy. I mean, even like it doesn't, I think, we get this very wrong in our society about how we have to be this banner employee and show up to work and be just, I get both sides of it, but if you quit today, they'll have a replacement for you tomorrow. Like that's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
So I try not to put a whole lot of stock into that sort of stuff anymore. So good for you. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Awesome.
Realizing what your struggle is and getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it takes a pay cut, at the end of the day, if you're happier, who cares?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rickard. Kathy says, hello, friends. Hey, Kathy. Cammie says, preach it, Jen. My 14-year-old daughter needs me to get her after school. She is more important than my career. One day. Exactly. I mean, you prioritize what works for you. It was like us in deciding to do this life. Jen gave up a wildly successful business. We had a all-American dream. Like we had anything we wanted. We had everything. We had nice house, nice cars, boats, whatever we want to do. But we were miserable. And we really, we had to really dig in and like what's causing this? And, and we had to make the sacrifice just like you did. And, I think most people are going to have to do that. Tammy Cruz says, hello, everyone from Michigan. Sorry I'm late. Hope y'all are doing amazing.
We are doing great, Tam.
We are doing well. Kim Meyer says, thank you. I don't either anymore, and it's weird to me. I reflect, and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I believe she's talking about, accepting people for who they are, where they are. It's a great feeling when you can literally be in the room or be in a conversation with anyone, and they can say almost anything. And that doesn't mean you don't need to set boundaries with people. If they're just being total dicks, I'm sorry, just total jerks, you have that right to set boundaries for yourself and other people. I think that's probably more so than others, because I think we're just, we're seasoned with people being mean to us. I mean, it's kind of sad, but I don't know. I kind of
but it gives you a different perspective when people are mean to you and you see all of that.
So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a really, really good feeling. I'm enjoying it.
Something I do want to touch on is the emotion of jealousy. Yeah. That is such a powerful emotion. That's why people keep up with the Joneses. And then if somebody has more than you or they get something new and you're like, oh, well, they don't deserve that. Why did they get that? And I didn't get that. Somebody else got a promotion at work.
Right.
And I took notice of those times. That's something else that I flipped, was that they probably worked really freaking hard to get that. I haven't walked their journey. I haven't walked their path. And quite honestly, that door probably closed for me because the universe is opening up another one across the hall that I need to go down. And when I started shifting jealousy into being happy for people, like genuinely being happy, that was also a huge game changer for me.
Yeah, and I was super guilty of that, especially in YouTube. Like, this is a big one for me, is I would see, peers, people we've met along the way. It kind of started when we did, or even after we did, that just skyrocket. Their success, their popularity, their income just goes through the roof. And I'm sitting over here getting so mad, like, oh my God, we do this, we do that, we do this and that and that. Like, why can't we should have we should have this by now? And it's just like, what's the point? It's like she said, I don't know what those people did. That wasn't my path, and I've learned, I've really gotten much better at just realizing that's awesome. That's great for them. I'm happy for them. They probably deserve it, because anybody that makes it on YouTube, they rarely ever just get lucky. Usually they have to work their butts off. So Phil says, hello, Jen and Kyle.
Hey, Phil.
Mike Smith says, hi, Jen.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Cammie says, love preschoolers.
They're awesome. They're so candid.
Smiling and being kind and loving makes anybody look extremely beautiful. Absolutely. Debbie Darla says, thank you guys. That's why I love you guys. You're fantastic people. You really are. Thank you, Darla.
We try to be.
New Horizons. Hello, everyone. And beautiful Jen. Hi. Hey there. Eddie T says,
hey, Eddie T.
Hey, Eddie, what's going on?
We'll be down at TTO this year, too.
Glad the power got fixed. Yeah, that's been weird. I read Jen was telling me somebody made a comment that they were without power for like 48 hours.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 days or something.
It's always been we've never experienced it there, but I've heard multiple times about people losing power there. I don't really know why, but because Thousand Trails probably.
So what's like with your mindset? What is something that you've done that's really helped you? Like something that you tell yourself, or like a practice that you do for other men out there? Because it's just, when you have feminine energy and masculine energy, it's sometimes easier to relate to someone who has the same kind of level as you do.
I think, and this is all this crap is hard work, and it takes a lot of time.
It does.
It's removing myself from situations, removing myself from certain scenarios and looking at it from another perspective, or the other perspective. And, and that allows me to, a lot of times, either one, if it's another person, have empathy for that person, or just see that side of it. And, and it makes more sense to me, and I'm able to connect the dots a little differently. So I do that a lot, and another thing is reframing things. When a negative thought comes in my head, I'm like, but is that, why am I thinking that way? And that's another, is tracing back where this stuff is coming from. I've been on that journey pretty heavily for the last couple months. Something will come up and I'll be like, okay, so where is this really? I haven't felt like this all day. Nothing, there's really no reason why I feel like this now. Where is this coming from? And you get pretty good at tracing it back to where it stems from. And once you can trace it back to where it stems from, it makes sense to you. And it makes sense why things are the way they are most of the time.
Yeah, you can label it. It gives you something to label. And then your brain can be like, oh, okay, I get it now. We're good. But it does take practice to get there. Go easy on yourself. I think it's such a right here, right now kind of mentality in society these days. And the thing is, right here, right now doesn't work. There's so many fad diets that I have been on, and my weight, no joke, y'all, yo-yoed up and down and up and down. And granted, I had a butt ton of kids, but the weight goes up and down and up and down, and it would never like level off until now, when I'm 36 years old. Like, my weight, I've been the same weight for 2 years. I've been the same size, haven't really just went
really
above. Yeah, nothing extra, just really worked on my healing journey and myself. And so it does take time, but it lasts, instead of doing something like quickly, like change your mental health in 30 days. Like, you can change it. It's just not going to like flip you, make you whole. Is that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's all marketing. All these fad diets, all of this stuff is marketing. They know the psychology of us. They know where we want it in yesterday mentality society. So yes, if you can lose 50 pounds in 3 weeks and you're going to be happy and your life's going to be great, I mean, that's what they're going to say, because I
Yeah.
mean, but it's not true. I mean, there's probably not one person in this chat who hasn't been on some sort of fad diet or fad supplement, or all of those things, and it's inner work. It takes a lot of that, and stress is a big one. Like she said, it stores fat. At least when I'm was depressed, I don't want to do anything, so my activity level goes way down, so I'm not burning off really any calories. I eat more. I don't care what I eat, so I just, whatever's in front of me, I eat it till it's usually gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, so when you're happy and you're content, you just
you don't need those extra things.
Yeah, you allow your body to just kind of work the way it's supposed to work. So it's pretty cool. Gmo says, you're both so very kind and easy breezy. If more people would just take on your personalities, life would be much easier for us all. I mean, I do appreciate that. We definitely have a long way to go with ourselves, but it's one person at a time. Everybody has to figure out their own happiness and their own contentment, because that's the key to it all, really.
And this is out there for everyone. It honestly is. We have lived a lot of life that has caused us to have to heal a lot of crap, but so have you. Every single one of you have lived a lot of life. There's a lot of trauma there. There's a lot of layers, but it's really just day by day and doing better the next day than you did the day before.
Absolutely. 5 seconds. Sorry, Kimmy says the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins is a fantastic book about.
Ooh, I'll have to read that. I like Mel Robbins.
Yeah, that's cool. Good
she wears the cutest glasses.
New Heisen says, we all don't know what someone else is going through, so always be kind, give them a smile, and just, it's so true. Jen is one of the best people I know about that. She will literally go up to anyone in any scenario, anywhere, and just give them a random compliment, and she usually picks out the people that she can kind of tell that probably need it the most. And, that's tough for us, a lot of us to do. I'm kind of reserved a little bit, it's hard to believe, but, yeah, I mean, she's really good at that. And it's so true.
It's important. It's important to show people love and to help them feel seen and heard and validated. And so that's big with me.
Jennifer Gross says, what's up?
What's up? I thought of The Office right there.
My God. I lost 40 pounds when I left gloomy, doomy weather of Long Island to Tampa. Hello, son. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, you're outside. You can do stuff. Yeah, that's a good one, because I've often thought about that. Well, honestly, not even so much on the weight side of it, but me sitting in the cold, gloomy 6-month weather, I'm gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You're inside. You're kind of getting that depression creeps in, and then you eat and you don't exercise. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And it's not, you don't have to go live this in a bus, but I think in order to have that real awakening, if you want to change your life 360 degrees or 180 degrees, 180, because you don't want to
end back where you were.
Anyway. So if you want to change your life, I think you have to really shock your system by moving very far.
Or you got to do, I mean, even like Michelle said, a career change, a big, get out of your daily scenario.
Yeah.
Move to a different side of town. If moving out of the area is not an option, it's gonna take. I read something the other day. You can't heal in the same place that you got sick.
Ooh.
So basically you can't improve and heal your life and heal your trauma in the same place that caused it. That made a lot of sense to me, because, and Jen too, like last year going back to Florida, she had a tough time. Because we spent, 95% of our lives there. So, I mean, that makes sense. So I agree, it takes a big change, and everybody has their own scenarios and their own, what they can do, but I do think it takes a big change to shock your life and to improve it. All right. And Kim says, it's stupid. It's about lifestyle, both weight loss and coping with other people. It's all about control. Just what y'all have said this whole time. Yeah. I mean, the fad diets, I can't get on board with it. And I've done them too. I've done the damn tablets you take and you don't want to eat. What's that one?
Oh, I've done that one too. I got super skinny, y'all.
Oh, I almost passed out on the baseball field one day. I didn't eat for like 16 hours. I was standing out in the sun all day, and all of a sudden I was getting woozy. I was like, oh crap, I haven't eaten today. And I was like, that's not healthy. That's not natural. Anything you're doing that's not natural, your body's not designed to do, is just not natural.
Well, and I think something that I do want to talk about is, when you do have a partner, you have a spouse, you have a significant other, when you start finding beauty in everything, you start being even more attracted to your spouse. You literally just love them. So every inch of them, you had said that yesterday, that like your love is through the roof.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I know. I wish I could, give the words to kind of describe it all. It's hard, and I'm still going through it and learning it. So it's a beautiful thing though. Rickard said keto helped me, but keto is not for everyone. Yeah, I mean, but that's more of a lifestyle change. You're not really, you're still eating real food. You're just kind of eliminating a lot of foods you don't like, or that are, for that, against that diet, which, that sort of thing. Because I mean, yeah, ultimately, yeah, if you eat McDonald's and eat crap every day of your life, I don't care how happy you are. Yeah, you're not going to be healthy. You're going to be overweight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, improve. It's several little steps. Our big thing is when we eat at home, we tend to eat significantly healthier. We get in a kick where we're eating out a lot. We're going to restaurants, we're going to diners and fast food. It was recently that happened. I think when we were doing Pigeon Forge, something, we were somewhere and we just didn't have the option to eat at home every night, and we were eating out a lot. And I got where I was getting so tired, I just didn't feel well. And we traced it back to, our diet has been, we went to Missouri because we just were eating crap.
Because I mean, it's just hard. It's just hard to have to travel quickly to get somewhere and try and eat good stuff. And we're not planners, so we're not going to prep food beforehand.
So, I mean, everything works for, different things work for different people. I feel like yo-yo all the time, but I've lost 62 pounds this year. Be proud. Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Yay! Look at you go, Patsy!
Yeah, that's a lot of weight.
Way to go.
That's awesome.
Wow. You and Patty are in a competition. I know y'all are both like losing weight like crazy.
Michelle says the suicides in Seattle is, I don't doubt it. We were there, not in Seattle, but in Washington last year for about a month, and we dealt with about a month of that. And I was just like, this is for the birds. I mean, and eventually we got to the point where, it's raining. It's not really that cold. We're going to go out. So we're just going to live, and that made a difference, and I think, a lot of people still, that's what they do. So. Tammy Cruz says, when you guys get your old home, can I get her? I can wish her. She'll be for sale. I mean, it's gonna be hard to let this thing go.
I'm just gonna cry. I'm just gonna cry so much.
Barbara says, hello, how are you guys doing?
Hey, Barbara.
We're well. We are doing okay.
Yeah.
LS says, I cannot wait to leave Florida. Cannot wait. I don't have any desire to ever live there again. I don't, I don't imagine I will, but I'm at the point now where I'm excited to go back.
Yeah.
And this is probably the first time since we've been doing this out of 3 years, our fourth year going back to it. It's our fourth year. That always seems weird to me, but this is our fourth year going back after being out for the summer and spring and fall. And I can truly say, I think I'm most excited to go back this year. Because we've healed a lot of what was left behind, and we're going back different people, and we're going back for the right reasons. So it's kind of cool. But I mean, I can totally relate to that. Absolutely, 100%. Darla says, right now I'm thinking that my kids are going to are grown, and even my grandkids are almost grown, 21, 16, 13, 9, and the world isn't looking real good. I worry about that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's
well, I think that it's up to parents, right? In order to change the world, it starts with how you parent your kids and healing those generational traumas. And so many people that we know are doing the same thing that we're doing, healing and becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can. We're apologizing to our kids for, I was a yeller. I was a yelling mom because I would get super frustrated and my anxiety would spike and it would just be all so much. I was overwhelmed and like everything just went, out onto everybody else. And that wasn't an everybody else problem. That was a me problem.
Right.
And I needed to be able to manage myself in those times. And so now, like, I've really worked hard on speaking to the kids as human beings. A lot of times people don't talk to kids like they're humans. They talk at them, or if a kid, they're trying to say something, they get interrupted all the time, they get cut off. So for me, something I've been doing the past couple of weeks is to really pay attention to children when they speak, like give them my 100% undivided attention. I did it the other day. Younger kid was talking to me and an adult came up, and I was like, oh, hang on a second, to the adult. And I was listening to the child because they were talking to me first. They matter. They're important. And when we start realizing that children and their mental health and their healing is important too, the world's going to shift to a better place.
Yep. Darren says, hi, Ben, Molly, and Eli.
Hi. Molly says hi. I think the boys are outside somewhere.
Talking to Eddie. I'm just older than Patty, and it's not easy the older you get to take care of. So, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you don't feel like getting in that little bit extra exercise. Your body doesn't. You're just not capable of doing what you once were. So I get it, but that's impressive. I mean,
that's awesome.
You should absolutely be proud of yourself. That is very impressive. Kathy, I wish we could have stayed out on the road. We did 4 months. Hubs had a continuous health stuff. We had a great time. Yeah, I mean, we meet people all the time that they get out, and for one reason or another, they don't last as long as they probably anticipated, and it's okay. At least you tried it. I mean, you gave it a shot, and that's more than most people will ever do. So.
Yeah, and it changes you. I feel like if you allow it to change you for the better, it becomes I didn't get to stay out for as long as I wanted, to wow, that was an incredible time that we got to experience,
Yeah, some good friends of mine, Tara and Joe, they're on here sometimes. She made a post the other day because they split their time. They have a ministry and they travel about half the year, probably even a little more, maybe 2/3 of the year. And then they're back home, and they made it's such an interesting perspective from them because they go back to where they're from and live in their home. And she was talking about, doing that. But when they got into RV life, it really opened their eyes to the real actual world outside of their community. So it was a very interesting perspective because, most people either, they're like us, they're either on the road full time, or they're, like most other people, they live in a home. So it's a very interesting perspective of how, you just see the world in a different light once you do this sort of thing.
Well, and think about when Tara and Joe, when they go back to their neighborhood, what they're going to bring, the joy they're going to bring for their neighbors, and how the new perspectives that they've learned on the road, and they're going to bring that back there to, inspire others.
Cheryl says, thanks, Jenn and Kyle, for being an inspiration. Well, thank you.
Thank you for being here, Cheryl. We wouldn't be here without y'all.
Rick Hart says your hair looks cool. My hair is not cooperating. That I looked in the camera, and I got like a bunch of it's poofed up over here, and it's also laying flat over here. So I just said heck with it.
It looks very fun.
I'm about to go to bed, so I don't really. I'm about to go lay down. I won't go to bed, but I'm going to go lay down, so I don't care. My dream would be to winter in Florida. My old body can't take the cold anymore. Watching your family has helped me so much. Thank you.
Aw, Deborah, we love you.
And I don't blame you. I mean, the cold I have gotten, and I can only imagine being an elderly, an older person, a retired age person. Like I have got where I don't like the cold much either. And I really used to think I did. But I'm always cold now. And you're right. Though. I mean, I hope you can do that, Deborah. I really do. I mean, if not Florida, Texas, Arizona, do something.
Somewhere.
I get it. Because Michigan.
You deserve to not be in Michigan in winter.
Michigan gets pretty brutal. Carol says, I think you need to find joy no matter your weight. Absolutely. I think that's the beauty. I mean, there's people that are, medically overweight that own it. I mean, they just own, they're
happy
wear
with
it. Yeah,
themselves.
they wear it. They wear it well. Like it's not a concern to them, and it's some people just naturally are bigger people. I think if you're healthy mentally, you're going to find you're going to get to the weight where you're supposed to be. Obviously there's more to it than that. Yes, you have to eat a correct diet and a balanced diet, but I think when you're mentally healthy, that stuff comes a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
The temptations aren't as bad with sweets and bad food. You want to get outside. You want to hike. You want to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's pretty cool.
For sure.
New Horizons. I quit watching the news so much. It was so depressing, and life's too short to sit around and worry. Besides that, it causes wrinkles.
Yep.
We're the same way. I mean, most people, We have to be. So we're typically told the news by someone, or I mean, I'll occasionally see something on social media, but I don't watch the news. I mean, Jen doesn't either. She watches even less than I do. I'll usually inform her if it's something I think she probably should know about. I'll let her know. And I'm very happy we cut out the news. We honestly cut out. We don't watch cable television, so we're in a hotel and we have to watch cable television.
It's so weird.
We're lost and we're like, what the heck is this? Because it's prescription medication, people asking for money. Like it's exactly the way it was when we left it. But cutting those things out has been very nice peace of mind.
Because you are what you surround yourself with,
yeah.
right? So if you're surrounding yourself with negativity, that's what you're going to be, you know. But when you focus on yourself and start healing, shifting your mindset is a big one. You know, you learn that, hey, I'm not out here alone. There's so many other great, awesome people that are healing just like me. And then you are attracted to those people.
And I think for us being in the social media world, and dealing with the media in the capacity we really have a much broader understanding of how it works and what they do and how they twist things to make people watch it. And I'm just not interested.
No. Although we kind of did that on Sunday, but
there was not one lie told in that whole video. We bought a new home. It was our new to us home. Kathy said, "Yep, we went from Ohio to Texas to Sedona and got married after 15 years."
Oh, yay! That's awesome. That's amazing.
You about ready to wrap this thing up?
You got a couple more comments you can get to there, buddy.
Old Dan showed up. Hey, all made it. Better late than never.
Yay!
You got that bus packed up? You're supposed to be leaving this week, I believe. Last time you said.
With those hot dogs.
Yeah, I got my hot dogs. Deborah says, "Good evening, you beautiful couple. Love you all." Thank you, Deborah.
We love you too.
Michelle says, "I love to keep busy. It helps me not overthink about safety of my son, who is in the second strike group. I cry when I hear the update of his carrier on the news." Yeah, I mean, I'm a busybody. I mean, it's honestly something I got to work on because it's anxiety that causes me to do that. But if I sit more than about 10 minutes, I'm ready to get up.
See, and I think I'm just somewhere. It was funny. Friends of ours, were joking and saying we're lazy hippies. And I said, no, I'm just selective where I spend my time. You know, I'm just selective with my time. And I genuinely love to observe. So I don't like to be involved in all the action of the playing the sports and the riding the rides and all. Like, I just like to observe other people doing it. And I get joy from that.
Absolutely. Kyle was seeing a Bob Ross Chia Pet thing at the store, broke out laughing. You know, I made a good Bob Ross.
You did. Sure. You made a great Bob Ross.
Ricard says the news is bad for your health.
It is. There's nothing.
I don't disagree with that.
There's nothing but negativity. I did get to go on like my first in studio interview yesterday, which was cool. But it was a segment on help and joy and love. And so, you know, we're trying to do more interviews and put more love into the news.
Right. Tammy Cruz says, I don't watch TV. And we don't watch a lot. Honestly, the only time we watch TV is when we get off this computer. We're going to go back to the bedroom, maybe spend an hour and a half watching some TV and go to bed.
It's usually The Office.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We kind of stick with what we're comfortable. We know it's a weird place we're in right now. I don't know why, but we always seem to just rewatch things. I mean, there's a few YouTubers we do watch, but for the most part, we watch just a handful of shows. I'm not really sure why. Deborah says we don't pay for cable, free TV, or no TV. We're not far off, and we have the internet, so we're able to stream. But other than that, we don't really watch it either. I quit watching the news in 2000. Yeah, you know, I keep hearing that. I'm wondering. I mean, I'm sure the ratings are down for sure. That's good because they spew a lot of crap.
Yes,
and
they do.
They instigate a lot of hatred. But guys, I think we're gonna head out. We're getting tired. We've had a long day. We worked all day making content, putting content out. So
yeah, we did do that, didn't we?
Yep. We'll have a video out again this Sunday evening. We're going to do the same thing we did. We're going to do our video at 7, I believe it was. Live stream following directly after. I don't imagine this video will be quite as long, so it'll be directly probably around 7:20-ish. But you trying to click on one?
I was trying to click on one. There we go.
As Flex Appeal there just said, smash that like button. Love you guys. We appreciate you as always. And we'll see you Sunday. See you in a couple days.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Gotta end the stream.
You do. Yep. Look at